Hey there, Zac Murtha here with Merge Windows and Doors. Hey, we're fixing to take a quick tour of 6814 Glendora here with Adrian from Artistry Homes. Come take a look. Adrian, one of the things I like about the unit you built in Preston Hollow, Glendora, I've got a close friend that lives just a block away. I've got another really good friend that lives a few streets over. Very familiar with this neighborhood. This has primarily been a neighborhood where they've taken older homes and torn those ranch-style homes down, putting in 6,000 plus square footage homes. Because the land values are so high, we got to get some house in here. One of the things that you mentioned that I love about this home is nearly 7,000 square feet of living space, 4-car garage, along with larger space and larger families comes with more toys. That's right. And so they need plenty of room, to be able to store those items away and still have great curb appeal as a whole. That's right. It's a beautiful home. Tell me a little bit about the kitchen as we're kind of walking through here.
One of the first things you'll notice is the cabinetry. We've done a lot of white oak in the past. A lot of builders are using white oak. I wanted to do something different in this house, so I chose to go with black walnut. And as you'll see, it's a completely different look. It's very warm. It's very rich. And not only did I do it in the kitchen space, but it's throughout the house. Bathrooms are black walnut. The bar area is black walnut. Inside my elevator, which I can show you upstairs, is black walnut. Yeah. Just a really, really neat wood, timeless. That'll look good for years to come.
We're seeing a lot more of the black walnut on other projects that we're collaborating on as a window company, and I just love the richness of it. White oak is a beautiful material, but to be able to give some contrast with different species of wood, again, brings Mother Nature into the home, lets us experience God's beauty at its best. Show me this one key feature that I really think is cool about this space. I mean, the kitchen's amazing. Wolf appliances,
Sub-Zero Wolf appliances, Bosch dishwashers.
Yeah.
But having a hidden pantry that has a second dishwasher and a second refrigerator, along with second sink and great storage space, this has been a hit.
Yeah, I think so, especially with the open floor concepts that, these big spaces, a lot of times don't allow us to, we want to keep everything perfect and clean all the time. And so we can put this behind closed doors.
It's a great space, especially if you're entertaining, you need to keep stuff out of the way. This is a great spot to have it.
It's a great feature. The Wolf drawer microwave, the
slide out microwave.
Yeah, that's awesome. I always forget where
that's the one I grew up with.
Yeah, So you talked about indoor-outdoor living, being able to share those.
Yeah, indoor-outdoor living was definitely important. This is one of my favorite parts of the house, where you have dual pocket doors that slide all the way to the wall cavities. We can open these up and we have this amazing outdoor living area here, which really allows you to merge the outdoor and indoor areas together and enjoy them simultaneously.
Yeah.
One of the other things we did out here, we did these electric screens. We're in Texas, so mosquitoes obviously are a problem here, or can be. We also built in heaters from Infratech, which is great. If it's cold outside, you can crank these heaters up, put your fireplace on, and keep this space open, and it'll maintain a nice temperature between the two.
Absolutely, it's really cool. Adrian, one of the things I really like about the master suite as a whole is lots of daylight, lots of natural light. Light tones on your countertops, light tones on your flooring. That dark walnut still, carrying its way through the house with a fluted. What do you call that? A reeded or a fluted?
Reeded, fluted. Yep, either one.
It's got a cool front to it. It's not just your typical smooth skin or raised panel. It's actually got some really good character to it. Great walk-in shower with brass or gold finish treatments on it, and then. We've got to take a look at the master closet because, again, I don't have enough clothes to fit these things. So I think looking at the master closet as a whole, again, plenty of storage. Put whatever you want in here. Make sure you got it all organized. And then they do offer another stackable wash and dryer in the master area, so you don't have to leave there to go to the other laundry room for the kids. I think that's just a great feature. We can divide and conquer, keeping our clothes and linens clean, right?
Any of us with kids know that most of the laundry comes from them. We have a dedicated large primary laundry room on the second floor downstairs. We feel it's very convenient to have a stackable in the primary closet.
Yeah, when you and I were kids, those 2-story houses, you had one laundry room. That's right. And they made the laundry chute, and so you threw your stuff down.
That's right.
We've gotten a little bit spoiled today, where we can put a laundry room on both floors.
You got it.
Adrian, you were just talking to me about natural light. What's your concept behind natural light and livability of a home?
Yeah, the great thing about this house with large windows is we have natural light throughout the house, with the exception of a couple of the secondary closets. You literally, during the middle of the day, could turn all of the lights in the house off and still do activities. There's plenty of natural light. I probably would not have done as many windows if the orientation of this house were east-west, but we're north-south, so we're able to have all of these large windows. We don't get direct light per se, but we have a lot of natural light, and it's very nice, and the feedback's been fantastic.
Yeah, and what I've seen is you've got the garage doors are on the west side.
That's correct.
The outdoor living is on the west side. The pool is nestled right in the center. And so what that means for non-builders or for comfort levels is north side doesn't get direct sun, south and southwest get direct sun, and the areas that are gonna get direct sun in that heat of the summer are shielded by garage and outdoor living. And so that really does make for a more energy efficient living space as a whole.
Yep. So when I'm trying to weigh cost versus worth, if I'm gonna get money back on it, it's like $8,000 or $9,000 to do these stairs with undermount lighting like that. But everybody that comes in this house comments on it. So it's one of those things that originally I was like, I don't know if we need to spend the money. And now I need to do that in every single house because there's so much wow factor to it. So you do have a sensor, you can see as they shut off individually, there's a sensor on the bottom and one at the top. So it'll do the same effect as you're coming downstairs, they'll light up individually.
That's the craziest thing. It's funny, I haven't walked a whole lot of houses the last couple of years because the phone just keeps ringing. So we stay busy as a business, but I've seen lighting in stairways. I was a builder, so lighting is a normal thing, but to see it trip by a sensor and come on and off, I think it's the coolest thing in the world. As you're looking up this video, it just kind of lights the way up stairway. I think that's a really cool, it's a really cool.
Well, and it's great at nighttime too. If you have kids that don't stay in the bed, they're gonna have nice illumination as they hit that sensor, so.
Yeah, and for parents at 3 o'clock in the morning, they come down, I see lights on the stairway, the kids are out of bed. What are we doing? You got it. So, awesome. Let's go take a look upstairs. Adrian, I could imagine myself lounging in this chair up here, just enjoying relationships, having that thing, being able to look out my door, it's like a fishbowl. Just massive glass. Tell us, what was your inspiration for this big old piece of glass?
You know, it's funny, when we first closed on the lot and started the design process of the house, I had seen homes, you know, over the past couple of years that were intriguing to me because they had a lot of windows on the second floor. And so this was something that I knew I wanted to have in this house. I wasn't quite sure how it was gonna look, but I had the idea behind it.
Yeah.
And so found a lot of photos from other homes that had been built in different areas, and this is what we ended up coming up with. I knew I wanted a wall of windows in here, and this has been a huge hit.
Well, I'll tell you, it's interesting because in my line of work and selling windows, these big, massive glass openings, we see a lot of those right now, trendy-wise, in stairways.
Yeah.
You know, people are putting them in the stairways. And I think that's great. It accentuates the stairway, but I don't sit in the stairway. To be able to sit in a living area to have just this amazing view and just all this natural light coming in.
Yeah, it's great. It is an amazing view. Not having direct light come through these windows really makes this as a peaceful, space. You got beautiful trees outside. You see the neighbors' homes, but no direct light. So it is a really good spot just to chill, hang out, to read a book. It really turned out exactly as I hoped it would. So.
Yeah, and I like that it's on the second floor and on the first floor because it brings a certain amount of intimacy or privacy.
That's correct.
That main living area. And what's behind that door over there?
So behind this door, we have our elevator. As I was talking about earlier, you see we finished this thing out in black walnut also.
That's awesome. 10 years ago, I would look at an elevator in a house and go, who in the world would put an elevator in a house? Why would they do that? But as a 53-year-old, I just turned 53 a week ago, I messed up knee for the second time. We were on a trip in Florida a week ago, and I was having a hard time getting up and down the stairs when life happened.
I think as our generation ages and we have families that may, be spending time with us, whether it's long-term or not, it's smart to have an elevator when you're looking at a home that's in, $5 million+ price range. I felt it was important to have the elevator inside the house. I think a lot of people don't want to spend the money to do it. A lot of builders don't want to spend the money to do it because it is somewhat pricey. But it is a feature that if somebody needs an elevator, here it is. You don't have to try to figure out where to put it later. So.
Yeah. Hey, so for Glendora, and I've partnered with Artistry, the cohorts within that group of investors and builders for the last several years. And for this house, we chose to do a blend of products between Gerkin Windows in Nebraska and Western Window Systems. They contracted with a local steel manufacturer to do their front entry doors. Phenomenal doors. I've worked with that manufacturer as well. Great company. But for the windows and doors, they went with Gerkin Windows with some Western pocketing multi-slide doors. Now, what I like about the Gerkin package, it actually had two series. It's a thermally broken aluminum product, similar to like a Western, Quaker, Ram manufacturers that are all kind of fishing from the same pond. Each one of them have certain highlights that make them really cool with what they do. Gerkin is just different than the other manufacturers. They have two different platforms in their what they call their Rhino series. They have their 5.1 or their 5500 series, which is a 2.5-inch deep frame, with 2 inches from the edge of frame to glass. They do casement windows, picture windows, single hungs. Single hungs are a prominent product that we use around, but a lot of the other manufacturers don't dip into the single hung realm. They do more casements and awnings, and Gerkin still does a really cool single hung window that they can do the sizes that we look for, the big heights, 7.5 feet tall, 3.5 feet wide, those kinds of things. But then Gerkin also has their 58F series, which is their storefront look. It's a 4 3/16 inch frame depth, right at 1.5 inches from the edge of frame to glass. And so those windows align very well with Western window systems and some of the other manufacturers that are on the market. Look very similar, but where Gerkin shines in that vein is they have multiple mulling options the way they do. What's called a true mutton or a true mull, where it just takes 2 pieces of glass and put them together with a single frame. It's a common mull. That's a really cool feature. And then they have what's called a stacking mainframe, and then step up to a structural stack. And where each one of these different mulling systems comes into place really depends on the overall size, width and height of that window opening. And so they're able to beef up those mulls to support, that specific size of 2 windows, and butt those together. They have cool, innovative ways of connecting those windows. Their mulling system makes it a lot easier for installers to handle in the field. I used to work for a manufacturer out of Houston, an aluminum window manufacturer, and they didn't have a mulling system. They'd ship out a 12-foot wide, 8-foot tall window, and we'd have to use human strength to carry that window on site. And that was a real challenge, something the builders weren't planning for. Their framing crews that installed their windows for the most part did not enjoy having to manhandle that size product in a field. And what I really like about the Gerkin product is it allows us to take these units into manageable sizes, no more than 50 square feet per unit, which translates to about 350 pounds for that unit. That's a lot of weight, but that's not something that can't be handled by 2 or 3 guys. They just allow us to perform better in the field, to manage the installation in a different way than a lot of the other manufacturers that we work with. So let's talk a little bit about the Western slider down in the sitting room off the kitchen area. They chose 2 3-panel pocketing sliders, and what makes the pocketing sliders different than your traditional stacking sliders is when these units are in the fully open position, those panels actually go inside the walls of the space, and so it leaves the full opening. When you think about a stacking slider type situation, you typically have 1 or 2 panels that are fixed, and then the other panels stack and stack on top of those, which limits you, whatever the size of that panel or those 2 panels that are in the fixed position, it limits you from a true opening space there. It's really cool. But what pocketing sliders do is allows you to take every panel that's a part of that opening and slide those into the wall and completely out of the way, which yields just a full wide clear opening. They did a really good job of integrating not just 1 pocket slider, but 2 pocket sliders into the space. One that allows you to walk into the outdoor living space, and one that allows you to walk onto the actual pool deck, all from the same room. It's a really cool feature. So how do we take plans and designs where we've gone fully fledged into this, the Southern Contemporary, this modern feel, everything went heavy into that range for several years, and now we're trying to find some warmth again in our homes. Now, one of the things that the builder mentioned earlier was that he had used this walnut cabinetry throughout everywhere with white oak floors. And so that's one way that we bring the outdoor in, and we bring some warmth into the space as well. But what happens when we go with these thinner profiled windows is the windows disappear, which gives us that modern appeal. But the builder chose in this case to come back in on this big massive family room wall, great room wall, wanted to come in and actually create more of a tic-tac-toe pattern with the windows, and then to trim those windows back out with a natural wood, again, to bring some more warmth back into the space, to give us those outdoor elements as part of the overall living. And I think they did a great job with that.